I want to tell you the real reason why I wanted to learn how to read. So I remember this little kind of like a story, but not really. It was based on what happened when I was like in middle school, right? I think I was in like sixth, seventh grade. I can't remember which one it was, but I remember this one kid, right? To me, he was like bold. I guess I could say he was. So I was like, we was like in class, right? And the teacher told him to, I think, read a paragraph or something like that, right? And he was like, I don't know how to read. And I was like, I wouldn't say that, you know. It was just me. I wouldn't say that. But he was like, he was confident, and when he said like he couldn't read, right? And it brought me back to when I was like in that story, when I was like remembering things, right? So when he said that, I was like very shocked. I didn't really thought he would like say that. He could have like say, can you pass on me like reading out in public or something like that, in class. So when he said that, I was like, wow, you're very bold to say that, confident, to say that. So I just stayed in the corner. I was like pretending like we was not in the same boat. Me and him didn't know how to read. So to me, for me, he was like brave to say that he couldn't read. To me, I wouldn't say that. But no, in that case, he was very brave. And then I was like thinking, like now, I was like remembering when I was like in middle school. And I was like, the one thing I wanted to do, I was like, what is the main thing I wanted to do? And then I remember that story, what happened, when that kid said he didn't know how to read, right? And I was like, that was very interesting. I want to learn how to read. So that is where it came back to me, and say, let's put in gear, and let's learn how to read. That's why I started to buy that program, to like learn how to read and stuff. It was because of that story, that little time when he was in middle school, and when the teacher was asking him to read something, he couldn't read it because he didn't know how to read. So to me, I felt like I was kind of attached to him in a certain way because me and him didn't know how to read. So I don't know if I still have him in the yearbook or something like that. I can't remember. Don't remember. But if I do or not, I can't remember. But anywho, so that was the main reason why I wanted to like learn how to read, now, even more. Because that story, I'm like, I was very touching, because it was very brave of him to like say, oh, I can't read, and said it out loud. I want to say, I would have like go in the corner and tell the teacher, hey, I don't know how to read. That's what I would have did. But he said it so openly, not like he was proud of it. He was just like telling everybody, that. So I was like very interested. I was like very interested, like, wow, you're like not better than me, but you're more open, about you didn't know how to read or something like that. So that's the main thing why I wanted to like learn how to read even faster. Before I did want to learn how to read, but it was in a slower pace that I wanted to learn how to read. At that time, I didn't want to get the little program to learn how to read. But when I remember that whole story, what happened when I was like in middle school, I was like, why would I wait? That story of me remembering it, it reminds me like life is very short, and it's better to like do all the stuff you really want to do in life. And I was like, that kid gave me so much inspiration. Me being in a corner, like hiding my emotions and dreams and stuff like that, right? When he said that, it actually opened my eyes. I was like, wow, you're expressing yourself that you don't know how to read to everybody. I want to do that. Legitimately, I want to do that. This is me. because I didn't want people to look at me like, what? You know, at the moment when he said that, I was like, what? Because when he's like, he was not like a bubbly person. He was just like open. He was like an open book, you know. He would say something, you know. And that really admired me, you know. I was like, wow, this kid, he's very open to all the stuff he's talking about or something like that, right? So I was never like that. I was never that kind of kid who would like say what was on my mind or something like that, you know. And when bully was bothering me, you know, I would get even in I think, a secret way, you know. But he was like, to me, I was like very impressed. I was like, wow, just this wow, you know. I was like, he could have said that, but I couldn't, you know. That's not like I'm not like it was to me. I was like, it's not like he was better than me or anything like that. It was like, it was just like a moment, you know. I was like, I should be more open with words, you know, and express myself, you know. He expressed himself easily, you know. It was easy for him to express himself, you know. Him. To me, it was not that easy, you know, because I was just very quiet and reserved and kept to myself, you know. So I remember one time I was like playing this, I think it was dodgeball. So we was playing dodgeball when it was like almost lunchtime or something like that, right? And it was outside with the teacher, so can't remember how this happened, you know, but it was like that, you know. I think it was like a half a day, you know. So we finished our work, so she was like, we can play like baseball or something outside, right? So we was like, let's play dodgeball. At the moment, I had the ball in my hand, and all the kids was like standing on the wall, so I was hitting the ball at the wall area, and sometime I hit some of the kids, you know, but it was not my fault. They could have moved out their way. It is technically dodgeball, right? So you should have moved, right? So apparently I hit one kid downstairs, you know, and it was that kid who like very open, you know. He was like a, what's that called? Not, I don't know if he was bubbly. I can't remember because the short memory of him like just being there, I couldn't remember, you know. But the only thing I remember about that kid was he was like open, that he didn't know how to read. That's it. But anywho, I hit him downstairs and he fell to the floor, and I was very shocked. So I pretend like I didn't really hit him, you know. So I ran to the corner, hoping like the teacher wouldn't even notice I hit him downstairs, you know. At the time, I was like that kind of kid, you know. I was like hitting kids downstairs, you know, like a low blow, you know. I don't know why. It was just funny to me, you know, when they fell to the floor, you know. So I guess that's the time when like I remember how this came about of me like wanting to learn how to read and get in the program, you know. So it was because of that kid, you know, the thing he said, you know, out loud to other kids, you know, and the teacher himself, you know. So that inspired me to like find my dreams and make my dreams actually come true and like express myself even better than what I was doing before. Before I was like very like standoffish, you know, and keep to myself and stand in the corner and exert things, you know. That was what I was, you know, back then, you know. I still am, you know. This is how I am, you know, just, I don't know. But that was the main reason why I actually got the reading program, you know, to like start out and learn how to read and spell and speak English and stuff like that, you know. Things like that. That was the reason. So I guess if you have these kind of stories, why did you? So comment down below if you have like these kind of stories like, oh, I wanted to do something in a life and this person opened my eyes and made me to do the thing I really wanted to do, of the goal I wanted to do in the future or something like that, you know. I don't know if I made any sense. I think that if you have a dream or a goal or something like that, and it was another person who expressed their goal and it was the same goal you had, and they just inspired you to like make that dream or goal come true, comment down below because I really want to know, you know. That's how my dream or goal came about, you know. I could even remember when he was like in that middle school. It was Plantation Middle School. I think it was 2006 or 2007. I don't remember which year it was, but that's the time what I remember, you know. It was that little short little story, you know. So yeah. So like and subscribe, turn your notifications on. I'll see you later. Bye.